The Skyloong GK68HE aluminum has a patented plateless design which allows for each magnetic switch to have better contact with the PCB. Now this was made possible not only by slapping the switches on the PCB but having a switch holder for better stability. This is the first magnetic mechanical keyboard I have personally tested with a gasket mounted PCB structure, which I think is new to magnetic keyboards. Now most magnetic keyboards are tray mounted and feel stiff, but with a plateless design, gasket mounting with a bit of flex is now a thing for Skyloong's magnetic keyboards. If you prefer a plate mounted structure based on the website, you may purchase a PC plate separately. In terms of gaming performance, this complies with ultra competitive standards, boasting an 8000Hz polling rate and obviously all-key anti-ghosting. Keys are responsive, and I did like the performance of the Skyloong magnetic switches. And about these switches, they have a 30-gram required actuation force, which I think is perfect for light presses when gaming. More on this later, but they do offer more perks than just performance. The GK68HE is compatible with lots of switches, including TTC magnetos and gaterons. This is a hot swap board, so freely replace them. The GK68HE has a mode switch up top to switch between modes such as office or gaming, and each one customizable via its downloadable software or web-based tool. The choice is yours. So upon opening the software right here, it's in Chinese. So just click on the settings button right there. Click on this one, so it turns into English. Now, since we're already on this settings page right here, it's cool that you could set polling rate down to 1K or 8K, depending on your preference. Now, of course, there are more settings here that are pretty much self-explanatory, like checking for updates. Anyways, upon opening the software, and it's already in English, the first tab here is RGB settings. Now, let me just check. You have static, dynamic, and custom options right there. Let's move on. I don't really focus much on RGB, but anyways. So at the performance tab, you have here set global actuation point for all keys, and you can set a single key actuation point. Just select the key, whichever that is. Now, let's move on to the remap. Again, this is the key binding features with 1, 2, 3 function layers right there. Actually, 4 function layers. 3 function layers. Okay, anyways. So we have here some more characters, lighting controls, and more keyboard controls right there. Moving on to the advanced keys. So first and foremost, you're going to have to select a key for the magnetic functions right here. SOCD is the only thing I use. So I bind A to the first button and then D to the next button right there. So A and D. Confirm that. So you have SOCD on A and D. So again, click on any button before you do any kind of advanced magnetic customizations. I think that's all that's important for me to mention. I mean, you have here dynamic keystroke, mod tap, and then toggle key. As for the other magnetic features here, I personally do not use them. SOCD and dynamic keystroke are the only 2 magnetic features that I personally use. Let's move on. The box contents include the keyboard with strap, manual, cable, key puller combo, and 2 extra Skyloong magnetic switches. The cable is really flexible and high quality, and I will be keeping this in my cable collection for sure. By the top right, you get an aluminum knob that feels really clicky. Tactile feedback is really good on this knob. Then by the left side is the strap port, and of course the strap. Out of the box, the strap is detached, so just put on these screws to lock the strap onto the keyboard. The keyboard weighs 1 kilogram despite being plateless, thanks to the silicone bottom pads and the overall fully dampened internals and aluminum body. This is fairly easy to tear down by just removing the screws on the sides of the keyboard. Up top, you get the mode switch and the USB-C input beside each other. Then you get a pair of 2-level kick-up feet underneath, which again is new to me given that this is an aluminum keyboard. Very good implementation of sticking the plastic onto the aluminum housing. Overall, the build quality did not disappoint. Now, the keycaps here are PBT double shot keycaps in cherry profile. They are shine-through keycaps, so they should look good with RGB on. With RGB off, no problem, as the alpha prints are very much noticeable too with very large fonts. Great for both light and dark environments. The stabilizers have very minimal rattling to them, and I would replace the stock lube with dielectric grease, something thicker than the factory lubing. Anyhow, they don't wobble because they are screw-in stabilizers. Good job, Skyloong. The switches we have here are Skyloong magnetic switches with 30-gram springs. They're factory lubed and feel smooth out of the box. Relubing is an option, but I don't think it's a must. They surprisingly sound good even without a plate to absorb the sound. Listen here. Now this is offered in 5 colorways. For more information on colors, visit their website linked in the description below. What we have here is the rock version, kinda punkish design that would suit messy builds. The theme is really rebellious from the font to the colorway and to the prints. And yeah, it's not minimalist. Legends are huge and so are the side printed legends. Great for broken eyes. Onto the side profile, you will notice an angle downward by the front of the keyboard that should add to the overall comfort of the keyboard, but my palms don't touch them. The case has no branding anywhere, so the top case is neat. The strap has the same rock and roll theme as the keycaps, having the same prints as the spacebar. Overall, I would not recommend this to minimalists, but those looking for a rebellious standout theme, this is a good choice. RGB is fairly bright, and this is thanks to the clear top case of the Skyloong switches. The south-facing LEDs matched with the side-printed double-shot keycaps really look good. Anyhow, I think all that needs to be said have been said. Links are in the description, so go check it out and get yourself your Skyloong GK68HE aluminum. And I'll see you guys again next time.